Hey, welcome guys to another video. I wanted to give my opinion about this LeBron James son situation, with him given the opportunity to enter the NBA combine and work his way in to try to see if he can be drafted. I don't think that it's a negative thing. A lot of people are adding their own spin on it because a lot of people are coming from an emotional disposition, meaning that a lot of people who have a strong distaste or a strong disdain towards LeBron James and what he's done to the NBA. Some people think he's ruined the NBA. Some people think that he's a prima donna in terms of getting his way and not thinking that the same rules that applies to everybody else applies to him. And in my opinion towards that is that he's earned the right to get his own way. I mean, when he's generated that type of revenue for the NBA, there comes with that a lot of perks. Yeah, not all players are treated equal, and not all players are created equal. LeBron James was endowed with certain divine gifts genetically via DNA, and he's just able to do things that other players can't do. Whether you hate him or not, or whether you think he's better than Jordan or not, that's not the point that I'm making here. The point I'm making here is that he's a great player. He's been a revenue generator for the NBA for quite some time. And he has a son that can play basketball. He has two sons, actually. But the one that I want to, talk about here is Bronny. And you got to look at what the young man has been through. He could have died a couple of years ago when he had that, that heart issue. I don't know if it was via cardiac arrest. And I did a video. It was on my Rumble channel. It's an old channel that I have. I'll have to probably transfer that content on this YouTube channel. I gave I gave the scientific reasons of what happened to him in terms of them saying it was a cardiac arrest, but that's another story for another day. But in regards to people having their opinions that are geared towards the negative side of them saying, no, the only reason why LeBron James' son is getting an opportunity to be in the NBA is because he's LeBron James' son. And I'm like, okay, so what? He's LeBron James' son. There's perks that comes with being LeBron James' son. You're going to be afforded other opportunities that another kid his age will not be able to receive. But that being said, it does not mean that there's not a lot of pressure on Bronny, LeBron James' son. See, when you guys are talking about, the dynamic between father and son relationship and viewing it as an extreme advantage on the side of LeBron James and his son, you have to understand there's another side to that. Do you know how much pressure his son is under? Think about that. You don't think he hears the whispers and hears the noise about you're only here because of your dad? I got a chance to see some highlights. I got a chance to see some footage of LeBron James' son play a scrimmage. Athletically, he can be in the NBA. Now, would he be the talk of the town, so to speak, if he wasn't LeBron James' son? Of course not. Like, I don't really even know who the projected number one player of the draft is, because I don't keep up with college basketball that much. I don't even know who the projected number one draft pick is going to be. But as a novice who's just coming in with a bird's eye view, looking at the situation, I would think that LeBron James' son is the number one pick because I keep hearing his name. Okay, now those are the advantages. Those are the so-called perks that he's receiving because he's the son of a great player. But do you know how much pressure he's under to perform, to get out of the shadow of his father? It does not mean that he has to be greater than LeBron James. No one's going to be greater than. I mean, no one's going to just come and be greater than LeBron James. Okay, that's not going to happen. But is Bronny good enough to be in the NBA? Yes. Is he athletic enough to be in the NBA? Yes. Does he have upside? Yes. What he proved at USC is not enough. There's not a big enough sample size to say he dominated college basketball, so now he's earned the right to take his talents into the NBA. Remember, every player has different stages of development and different stages of blossoming or coming into their own. I think that LeBron James' son is going to be a late bloomer. I think he's going to be much better in the NBA than you guys think, because the NBA is an athletic man's game. It's a young man's game. The way the floor is spread, it actually fits his skill set. It fits Bronny's skill set because of his quickness, because of his ability to shoot. He's a good passer like his father. I saw the scrimmage. He has a high basketball IQ. He just lacks the height of his father. He's not 6'8". Imagine if he was 6'8", 6'9" with his current athleticism. He would be a baby LeBron in a sense, but he's not. He's 6'3", 6'4", maybe more 6'3", but he can be in the NBA. He's not getting the opportunity to be in the NBA because he's just LeBron James' son. The only thing that he's getting right now that I think that he's getting because he's LeBron James' son is the fact that he's getting an opportunity to enter the NBA draft early. I think if he was not LeBron James' son, he would probably have to play 4 years of college basketball. But I see the DNA is in him. This is not a case where father can play and son is a scrub. No, Bronny's no scrub. Now, is he the best player coming out? No, he's not. Is he a freak of nature? Is he Wembanyama? 7'4", 7'5"? No, he's not. He's not a freak of nature, but he's a freakish athlete. Athleticism, quickness, and speed and jumping ability can translate well into the NBA. I don't give a damn who you are. And who's to say he's probably not even through growing? You know, he's probably not through growing. He may finish out at 6'4". Who knows? He may finish out at 6'4". I remember when J.J. Redick initially got into the NBA. Especially, he got taller. I followed him at Duke. He came in like 6'1", 6'2". He grew to be like 6'4", 6'5", 6'4". So Bronny may not be through growing. So I don't think it's just he's LeBron James' son. That's why he's getting the opportunity. The only opportunity that he's getting right now is an early entrance or early audition to get into the NBA due to his father's connections. That's the only perk he's getting. In terms of what he does on a basketball court, that's going to be all on Bronny. We can't say, oh, he's LeBron James' son, which is more pressure, because now, if he gets into the NBA, let's say he gets drafted and he's not a good player, which I doubt, but let's say he's not a good player. He struggles, he's not good. Then you're going to hear those rumblings and those utterances of, oh, see, he only got here because he's LeBron James' son. But if he gets to the NBA and carves out his own niche, becomes his own player, and he plays well, doesn't have to play to the level of LeBron James, but if he's a serviceable NBA player, then we can't look at it and say he got here because of LeBron James. We can just say, well, he got here off of his own merits, off of his own skill set, and off of his own hard work. He's a hard worker. And I value that. I value a hard worker. He's not lazy. He's trying hard to get out of the shadow of his father. And I think that's a great motivating factor. It's a great motivating agent for anybody. If he was one of those lazy players that just wanted to just stay underneath his dad's shadow, and no, I wouldn't like that. He has a strong work ethic, and he wants it. He wants it. He loves the game. He wants it. And I think he's going to be fine. I think initially a lot of people had a knee-jerk reaction. Oh, his son's not ready to be there. It's a wrong idea. How dare? No, it's not. The only thing that I'm gonna keep repeating it. He's just getting an early access. He's getting early. It's sort of like going to law school, right? You haven't gotten your law degree yet, but you're such a savant in your knowledge of the rudiments of law, and you understand the intricacies of law. You have a great mind, and the law firm execs are like, you know what? I know this kid doesn't have a law degree, but let's allow him to lead some cases that are not really, really important. Let's see how he bodes. Let's see how he bodes in those situations. Let's see how he does. Does he do well? Does he crack under pressure? Let's see, because we see potential there. Okay, I think that's what's going on with Bronny. There's potential there for sure. He's not a scrub where it's like, man, he's trash. Why is he getting a chance to play in the NBA? That's not the case. I believe that LeBron James knows his son. I believe LeBron James knows his son's ability. I don't believe LeBron James would sign off on his son trying to enter the NBA if he thought that his son was trash, because that would be a slight on the name of James, LeBron James. The last name that he wears on his jersey, that would be a slight on that. That would be like, what? That's your son? Your son is not carrying you very well. Whatever, LeBron James is very good on perception. He controls media, a lot of sports media. You know, he's very powerful in that sense. That false sense of humility that he tries to give out, don't be fooled by that. LeBron James knows exactly what he's doing. If he's going to put his son out there on forefront, he knows that his son can play. If he had a small inkling of an intuition that, hey, my son is not that good, he wouldn't be pushing for his son to enter the NBA. He would want his son to wait a little bit. Okay? So, Bronny is ready. He's ready. He's ready. He could be a good role player. He's ready. And I've seen the comps that they compared him to. They compared him to some, I forgot the names of the NBA players they compared him to, but the comps that he was compared to were not bad. I mean, if those guys are in the NBA, he can make it. He can make it. He can make a roster. Would he be a starter? I don't know. Would he get a lot of minutes? I don't know. But in terms of being on an NBA roster, he can make it. He's still developing, folks. He's not done. He's not done. He is far from done. I'm telling you guys, he's going to be okay. He's going to be fine. You know, and I can see to the fact that, of course, he's LeBron James' son. So, yeah, there's a lot of perks that comes with it. But then again, with all the gifts and the perks that you're receiving comes a lot of pressure and a lot of things that you have to prove. So, I'm okay with it. Initially, I was kind of taken aback at first. I'm like, how are you going to try to make NBA teams draft your son if he's not ready? But then again, I thought about it. I'm like, why not? He's LeBron James. He can do whatever the hell he wants. I mean, again, everything's going to take time to materialize. But when everything's actually done and everything's completely done, we're going to look back at this and be like, man, that was a dumb idea. Or we're going to be like, man, that was very clever on the part of LeBron James to push for his son to enter the NBA. It's always been a dream of LeBron James to play with his son. And I think he's going to get that chance. Now, the disadvantage or the playing advocate here, I'm not going to say, I hate to use the word devil's advocate because I don't want to be an advocate of any devil. But let me play an advocate to the argument and say this. Let's say he pressures LeBron James. He pressures Bronny to be in the NBA. Not that he pressures him, but he pressures the NBA to take his son. I think that the downfall of this can be too much pressure on the son to enter the NBA. He enters early and he burns out and he doesn't become what he's supposed to become. And the pressure gets to the son and his son can't take it. The son is mentally weak. And then the son doesn't, he burns out. He plays for about 3-4 years and he's out of the league. That's a possibility. But it's highly improbable. Highly improbable. Because cut from the cloth of LeBron James' DNA, I don't see him with that type of mentality being weak. He's a hard worker. And I hate to say this word, people use it casually, but death is very real. But he would die on the court to prove his point. I mean, it almost literally happened. He almost died on the basketball court. For him to come back from that heart issue and for him to be playing the way he's playing, I mean, we have to give him a lot of credit and applaud him. Applaud LeBron for the situation that he's in right now. He's come a long way. He's come a very long way. So those are things that can happen. There are two things that can happen on the extremes. On the extreme good, he can make the NBA, be a serviceable player for a long time in the NBA. Maybe one day become a starter and make his own name, where he's no longer called LeBron James' son. He's just called Bronny. Like, he makes his own name. That's the ultimate extreme. And he makes a couple of all-star teams or makes a couple of all-defensive teams. This is all hypotheticals, right? On the downside to it, or not the downside, or the opposite extreme to the negative, is that he enters the NBA, too much pressure to live up to his father's expectations, or the shadow of his father. Not that the father's putting pressure on him, it's just he has LeBron James' name attached to him. He's the son of one of the greatest players that's ever played the game. So too much pressure can derail him, but I don't see that happening. But I have to say that because it's a possibility, but it's highly unlikely that's going to happen. Bronny's always had this. He's always been the son of LeBron James. This is nothing new to him. The fact that he could come out there on the stage like that and perform the way he performed. When I say on the stage, I mean like the scrimmages. And the way I'm not saying he's putting up like 30 points or anything like that, but I'm watching him play. I'm watching him drop nice passes to his teammates. I'm seeing the vision. I'm looking at other things. There's more to basketball than scoring, folks. Scoring is part of it. When I say part of it, that means there are other parts too. There's passing. There's defense. There's basketball IQ, your intelligent quotient. How are you dissecting the game? How are you making the players around you better? How are you defending the player that you're defending? All those things are factor in, and he's serviceable from what I saw. And he seems to be an above average athlete compared to the other players on the basketball court. In terms of his speed, his agility, his quickness, his jumping ability, all of those things jumps out to me when I see him play. And that translates. Look at Westbrook. Westbrook can't hardly shoot, but he's athletic as hell. Athleticism can take you far. Now, I think that as LeBron's son, Bronny, continues to play, his skill will get better, but right now, his athleticism is going to carry him right now. Probably about 3 to 4 years in the league, he'll start to, he'll become a better shooter than he is now, and he's not far off. To me, if you ask me, he's a better shooter than his father was when his father initially entered the NBA. Remember, LeBron James was just raw athleticism. He was a man amongst boys. Shooting was not his forte. Far from it. Did he shoot the ball some? Of course he did. But what he did very well was bull his way to the lane and dunk on people. And he made people around him better because he attracted so much attention when he had the ball. So he was able to dissect defenses because all eyes were on him. Any little move he makes, the entire defense shifts. And then when the entire defense shifts, he can pick your defensive schemes apart. And he also had a mind to know what you're going to run. He actually knew the plays of his opponents. People don't give LeBron James the credit of being a savant in terms of his mindset. He's probably a genius on a basketball court. And we probably don't know how he would have been academically, but who knows? They say his memory is off the charts. I forgot what the scientific term is for a person that has a photographic memory, but they say he has a photographic memory. He can remember things that no one else can remember. You don't think that his son has a little bit of that DNA in him, Bronny? He does. Bronny's going to be fine. But there are two things that can happen. Three things. I'm going to talk about the extremes. The extreme good, like I said before, is that he plays well. He has a long NBA career. He makes a couple of all-star teams, or even if he doesn't make all-star teams, but he makes a couple of all-defensive teams. He's a good, serviceable player in the NBA. He carves out his own name. He has a great career. Okay? The opposite to that, the opposite extreme of that is, oh man, he gets to the NBA, it's too much pressure. He can't live up to the pressure of trying to live up to his dad's expectations. He doesn't play well in the NBA. He's mentally weak because the only reason why players don't make it in the NBA is the difference is mental toughness. A lot of players, they get down on themselves, and most of the game when you get to that level, 80% of it is mental, because a lot of the guys there already have the physical abilities and the skills to get there. You don't get to the NBA because you're a scrub. You get there because you have skill. Now, when you have bad games and you're struggling, how you respond to those adversities is going to impact the way it is for you moving forward. So I think he's mentally strong, but let's say he's mentally weak. That's the only way I can see him not lasting in the NBA. He's too athletically gifted to be out the NBA. He's too athletically gifted. So, with that said, I think he'll be fine. And then the third option is that he just has a decent NBA career. He's just a divine. A divine bench warmer. Like he's in the NBA, he's on rosters, but he's not doing anything. He's just You know, he doesn't do anything. He never plays. He may get in and get junk time minutes, and that's it. But I don't see that happening. I think that when he plays, because he's such an attraction, because money is behind this as well. People want to come and see him play, so he's going to get into the game. And then you're going to hear the whispers. He's only getting into the game because he's LeBron James' son. Well, yes, because that's the narrative. The narrative is enticing. It's like the same thing with Prime and his son. People want to see, how is this dynamic between father and son relationship going to materialize on the football field? And I think people, when they see father, LeBron, and they see son, they want to see them play together. Now, is that part of LeBron James, aura causing that? Yes. But why? Because it's the work that LeBron has put in. He's earned that type of energy to be able to motivate or influence our minds emotionally to want to come and sit our asses in the seats to watch his son and him play together. People want to see that. I don't think there are people out there that said, I don't want to see that. You want to see it. Either you want to see it happen and watch LeBron's son fail, or you want to see it and see that Bronny does well. Either way, you want to see it. You want to see something. And I think that if you can attract attention to the NBA game that way, then it's a good thing, because at the end of the day, it's about generating revenue. Remember, it's still about the bottom line, guys. I don't want you guys to forget that. It's still about the bottom line. But it's not the bottom line to the point where the guy, Bronny, is garbage. He's not garbage. You're going to get some wow factor. You're going to get some wow moments like, whoa, did you see what Bronny just did? Or, whoa, did you see that pass? Oh, man, did you see how he just dunked on that guy? Like, you're going to get moments like that. You're going to get flashes of brilliance coming from Bronny. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Is he going to go out there scoring 30 points a game? No, likely not. But you're going to see flashes and moments of his potential. He's young. He'll get there. He has a father that's a great player. He's in good hands. He'll be fine. So I think that, yeah, we're gonna see Bronny play earlier than we think. I don't think he's gonna come into the NBA and just be a bench warmer for the first couple of years of his career. No, he's gonna get in early because his father is LeBron James. But when he gets in early, he will perform. That's the thing that I want you guys to see. He will perform. He will perform. He's too athletic not to. Either he's gonna perform, either he's gonna do something crazy and wacko. You're gonna be like, man, what was he thinking? But either or, there's an entertainment value that's there because it's drawing us to our seats, it's drawing us to our televisions, it's drawing us to our cell phones to see what's Bronny gonna do next. How is LeBron James and father gonna play together? That in itself, just saying it, just it coming out of my mouth, makes me excited to see it. Whether I'm a LeBron James fan or not, who doesn't want to see that? A lot of times we see brothers who play. We have siblings who play. And that's kind of, nice. Oh, they're brothers. The Ball brothers, or, the O'Bannon brothers. You remember the O'Bannon brothers that played at UCLA? You have those combinations, right? We've never seen a father and son play together. And then the father is one of the greatest. His son playing with him? Oh, come on, guys. That's one of a kind. Who wouldn't want to pay to see that? I know I would. So yeah, man, that's my take on that, man. I don't look at it as it's not fair. Why is Bronny getting a chance? I'm like, look, man, I want to see it happen. I don't care whether it is what it is that he's getting this opportunity because of his father. We know that. That's an already established fact. That's the foundational premise of my commentary and my analysis on the situation. We all get it. Yeah, he's LeBron James' son. Okay, fine. He's getting his chance because he's his son. Now let's see what's going to happen. Let's see how it plays out. That's the entertainment value. In the NBA, if Adam Silver is smart, he'll push for this to happen. He'll make sure that those NBA execs that a team takes him, preferably the Lakers. If he gets to the Lakers, I don't know. Let's say he comes to play for the Lakers and father and son are playing together in LA. Do you know how many people will come to the game to see that? That's amazing. All right, guys, that's my comment, man. Leave me your comment. Tell me what you think. Do you think that it's not right that he's getting a chance to be in the NBA? Do you think he's going to be a trash NBA player? Do you think he's going to be okay? I want to hear your opinion on it. All right, let me know what you guys think. All right, thank you guys for listening. All right, bye.